Hello and welcome back to another Now You Know with Yorktown Joe. Today we're taking a look at an O-Ring and Transformers crossover. This happens to be with the Energon Universe Void Rivals. So Void Rivals and Transformers. And this is the first appearance of two Void Rivals characters, Derek and Solila. I believe I pronounced that correctly. If not, someone can correct me in the comments, because phonetic comments are awesome. Anyway, we're going to take a look at this. It was I believe an SDCC convention exclusive last year or year before that, but if you're watching this 9 years from now, who knows? You can look it up on the internet, I'm sure. This is pretty cool. The packaging separates out like this. So then you've got the Transformers, you've got a little picture of that, and then you've got the characters. It's a spoiler alert when they take their masks off and realize that they're not mortal enemies, but perhaps citizens of the same planet. And then we've got a Transformer Jetfire. Now this is different than some of those on the shelf there. There's some crossovers with G.I. Joe and Transformers. Those Transformers actually transform into something that they can interact with. And this Jetfire is, I think, a repaint or a re-release of a Transformer. So he would interact nearby them, but they can't actually ride in him. The scale would be ridiculous if that was the case. So we're going to take a look at that. Also, with this, it's kind of a hanger. Kind of some kind of transformation thing. And it comes with an exclusive comic cover of Void Rivals #1. So same as Void Rivals issue 1, Robert Kirkman, but it's got a special... Let's see, let's pull that out of there. It's bagged there, you can see it. So that may be, exclusive comics may be valuable to somebody there as well. But we're going to take a look at this and get it out of the box. Alright, and here they are. It was quite a project to get all of the packaging, little plastic ties and whatnot out of it. But there's Jetfire. The wings were kind of swept forward. I think that's probably more how it looks. Never had a Jetfire Transformer before. Interesting, the O-Ring figures, this will be interesting to some people because, O-Ring collectors. But the card is just a tiny little card. It's got the two figures on there, and it's got some information about the war raging on around the Sacred Ring and what factions they're from. But here they are, and that's kind of cool. Almost cool enough for me to leave that on card and try to sell that to somebody, but nah, we're gonna take that out and take a look at it. There's quite this desolate mountain moon planet or wherever they had crashed on. The packaging looks like it can be a little background diorama. Looks kind of cool there. And then there was some crinkles, sorry for the crinkles, some Transformers branded, wrapped up some additional accessories here. It's just a blaster and some various blast effects, either so Jetfire can take off or he can fire or take on fire here. We'll take a look at that as well. We get some instructions here. We can see that Derek, he is an Agorian, and Solila, she is a Zertonian, so A to Z. And then they encounter, just briefly in the comic, spoiler alert, Jetfire, who's an Autobot. And Jetfire is decommissioned or out of commission and buried on this moon, and they discover him. That's more for us as readers, and Jetfire promptly does not help him at all and flies away. So that was how much of a crossover that was originally. So they're making this out a lot more than it was. But it introduced us to the Energon universe, that Void Rivals #1. There was an ad for that. And there were ads in local comic book stores that week, and it was really fun. Now, as I'm looking through this, there's only, let's see, 32 easy steps to transform this. There's a reason, ladies and gentlemen, why I do not collect Transformers on the regular, and that's probably the reason. As much fun as I would have had at age 11, 12, that range, sitting here messing with this, trying to get it into a robot form. I'm going to get that into a robot form, and I'm pretty sure he's going to stay that way in perpetuity after that. Or I could just put him here as he's going to blast off and take away, but that doesn't look very dynamic for work on the shelf. Just taken off there. So we're going to pause for a moment, and I'll transform this, and in 3 or 5 more hours, I'll be back for the rest of the video. And after that short stop motion, hopefully I have transformed this guy correctly. I do not know, but you can correct me if I've spun him the wrong way or I've got a kneecap inverted or anything like that. It's been a long time since I've done a Transformer. This one wasn't as stressful as I thought it would be. I was worried it would be something where I was hearing crunches and crackles and not something that I could easily replace. So let's take a look at our Void Rivals, Derek and Celila. And not at all collector-friendly packaging, but I managed to salvage it. Razors across there, and now you got a million more little ties to take off, or 4. Alright, and if you couldn't hate the little plastic things that hold figures to trays, you couldn't hate them enough, this will definitely reignite that hatred. So they're free, and they seem to be no worse for wear. A little tight with the O-rings. Ooh, joints are pretty tight too. And that's a small little accessory. This is Derek. He's the male pilot from the team of the Agorians. And one of these hands is, I believe it's called a handroid, and that actually helps guide them and make sarcastic comments as they're going on their journey in the comics. So that's a nice inclusion. And Celila, she is got some kind of double-sided spear there. She's got her mask and look there. Now, people will say the behind me in the back, I've got some of the G.I. Joe Transformer crossovers. This looks to reuse, those look like Zartian's legs there, so they made extra use of that mold, and no harm, no foul there. And those legs look very much like the Baroness's legs, and she was packaged with his tank Megatron. So good reuse of some tooling there, and then some additional tooling on top. The whole uppers may be, we know the heads are new tooling, but the whole uppers may be, if you can correct me in the comments if I'm incorrect on that too. But these are the Void Rivals. Pretty slick there. So it's interesting, they can still make O-rings with swivel arm battle grip if they feel like it. That knee is really tight, so don't want to force that one. And the O-ring is a little bit tight as well, but I know some O-ring operatives out there who would advise me to just find a different size O-ring and make a little switcheroo or upgrade. But yeah, pretty slick set. I got this set, I wasn't planning on getting it. I got it as a prize at Serpentor's Lair. We have some sports related competitions, either March Madness or the NFL or the NCAA football, and you make picks during the year, you don't have to put any money in. But if you're an active participant on the site, you can participate, and this was a prize for one of those competitions. So I must have made the correct number of guesses, and really appreciate Adam at Serpentis Lair for sending that over to me, and that's quite a very generous prize without any contributions in for that. What do you think of this set? I think I've got a spot for it. We'll get out of here, and now you know, with Yorktown Joe.